Welcome back to episode 3 of the Braves Hip Coil. I am joined once again with Coach Ken Anderson. Ken, welcome aboard once again. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Brian. The Braves are winning and having fun, and so we're all having fun. How about you?
Been good, man. Life's been good. Braves haven't lost a series yet, knock on wood. And we're going into enemy territory this weekend. But we're going to do a quick recap this time, chat, on our picks to click. Now, I had two, but I'm only going to go over one. I didn't keep up with Yaz, but I think Yaz did okay. But Ken picked Mr. Dom Smith, who was 5 for 11 with 5 RBIs. Ken, a round of applause goes out to you for absolutely nailing the pick to click. Mine was Ozzy. I think he was 2 for 11, but he had Homer. So I'll take it. I take the bomb.
Hey, man.
All right. As I've already said, we have the Philadelphia Phillies for the next 3 games over the weekend, and we start game 1 with Taijuan Walker. Can give me a little bit of something about Taijuan Walker.
Well, Taijuan Walker is one of those journeyman pitchers in baseball that happens where he was a pretty good young pitcher, and he's just steadily kind of been on the decline. Taiwan is going to try to keep the ball away all the time. And if you have the right approach against Taiwan, it's kind of like the thing we've had with Chris Paddock and a couple other pitchers like that. We should be able to hit him. The biggest thing is that we got to be set our eyes away, keep our eyes away. He's going to be not trying to bust us in too much, and you know, make him throw strikes and keep your sets on the outside. And I think we can do some damage against Mr. Walker.
Yeah, I 100% agree, man. Taijuan Walker. Let's go over his pitch arsenal real quick, chat. He has a splitter, a cutter, a sinker, a slider, a curve, and a four-seam fastball. So he's going to be throwing stuff that 90% of the time moves. I can already tell you the first pitch that you can go ahead and eliminates the four-seamer. He's not going to throw it, but maybe 1 or 2 times a game. It's just not worth even considering that pitch. But the important thing is none of his stuff is really that good. It all rates really well below average at this point in the season. But what he does do is he's going to use all of his pitches to about an even percentage. But that doesn't mean he doesn't have his favorite pitches to each part of the plate, meaning left-handed hitters are going to see certain pitches, right-handed hitters are going to see certain other pitches. So for lefties, he heavily relies on his split finger to induce weak contact. For the righties, he heavily relies on his sinker to do the same as well because it runs into the right-handed hitters. Another important note, he does not have a put away pitch. He relies heavily on sequencing hitters to get them out. He is going to attack the outside part of the zone just as Ken said it to both left-handers and right-handers. He will pitch inside when he needs to back guys off just to open that outside corner back up. So let's talk about what the lefties are expected to see. He is going to go with the splitter, as I said, heavily. Curve and sinker will get mixed in there as well, just to be other pitches that they see. And he's going to bust them in every so often with the cutter. Right-handers, he's going to establish inside with the sinker. And, of course, he's going to work away with the cutter and slider. So let's get into the approach side. Left-handed hitters, see the ball up in the zone because you know you're going to see the split and you're going to see the sinker. So you want the ball to start up. There is no need to hunt anything else, in my opinion. Sinker, splitter, if you see even a glimpse of something breaking inside, just take it unless you got 2 strikes. You want to hunt something out over the plate. So you want the pitch to start a little bit inside off the plate or on the inside corner so it goes back over to the middle of the plate. And you want it to start a little bit above the belt in order so you can to drive the ball. Right-handed hitters, kind of the same approach as the lefties. You're going to hunt the ball up and out over the plate. You want the sinker slider window, so you want the ball to literally start in the middle of the plate. That way, if it's a slider, it's going to be on the outside part of the plate. And if it's up, you should be able to tell even if it's inside of the sliders up, you're going to be able to read that and still smash it. Sinker, you want it to start up and out over the plate. So when it comes back down, it's going to be on the inside part of the plate. And you can, for right-handed hitters, you just drop the barrel on it. So that's what I got on Taijuan Walker. Ken, you got anything else to add?
No, that's a good report. Like I said, you want to set your eyes on the outside. And if it's starting at the knees, just let it go. It's probably going to be a ball. I know in the video you showed Austin struck himself out with a 2-2 pitch in the dirt. Those are things they learn from video. Like you just, in the video also, he struck Ozuna out on a outside fastball. He snuck that four seam on him. If your eyes are set on the outside, he can't even sneak that four seam by you. He doesn't have that kind of fastball. He has a good fastball, but not that kind where you can't judge and hit the ball and play. I like the way our guys are swinging the bat. A lot of backside hitting right now on this team. I think that this is a bad matchup for Taijuan Walker. I know a lot of y'all think we like to jinx, and that I don't believe in that. This is not a good matchup if we keep our same approach, and that is up in the strike zone, out of way, spit on anything that goes knee because most likely he's not throwing anything hard down there. It's probably something slow, splitter, or you know even the sinker. It'll be low. And if we have that approach, I expect us to score runs. And one of the guys who may actually rake in this ball game big time will be Austin Riley. That's you showed him with a strikeout, but this is a pitcher that Austin should really hit. And so I think we'll have a good night Friday night, and if we get a good pitching out of Martin Perez, I think this is definitely a winnable game to get us off to a good start on our road trip.
100%. See the ball up in the zone and out over the plate. Be ready to drive the ball to right center field. If you're a right-hander, if you're a left-hander, be ready to drive it backside into left center field. That's what you're going to see. Honestly, if anything even remotely starts inside, I mean, if you're lefty because of the sinker, you want to stay on it. But if you're a right-hander and you see anything that really starts in, you gotta just spit on it early. You want to see that ball up and out over the middle of the plate and then protect with two strikes because he's not going to blow the fastball by you even with two strikes. He just doesn't have that velocity. Now, moving on to game two, this gentleman definitely does have the velocity to blow it by you. Mr. Christopher Sanchez. Ken, what do you have on him?
He's an ace. He's a top 5, top 10 pitcher in the league. He's going to be very difficult. He don't have Chris all the way, but he's got a little bit of Chris when he wants to he kind of brings it from the side a little bit. He's a difficult run, and our right-handed batters have got to be spot on in this game. We've got to work counts and get him and try to get him in hitters counts. He throws strikes. That's going to be difficult said. I wouldn't be surprised if Hires and them take the same approach of trying to be very aggressive early. But that's just swing at strikes. He may know that. He can get it up in there. He's going to be very difficult for Michael to hit. Not that Michael can't. Michael's got to definitely stay middle backside. Same thing goes for Matt. This is where Ozzie needs to step up and have a big game. Ronnie needs to have a good game. Needs to have a good game. We know our record so far this year. We tend to take that. We take Dom out of the lineup, Yaz out of the lineup. The lineup is a little different. So it'll be interesting how Walt approaches this game with his lineup. But get no mistake about it, Mr. Christopher Sanchez, it will be very difficult to beat Saturday night. Luckily, we got Chris Sale going against him, but this will be a very difficult game to win.
Chat, this is a really tough matchup, and it's going to be tough for anybody who'd be facing Chris Sanchez. Man, he is nasty. He only has 3 pitches, so you would think that you can kind of have a really good approach and eliminate some stuff, but each pitch has a different plane or it hits a different window. So you got the sinker that's going to run into lefties away to righties. You got the slider that's going to run into righties away from lefties. And then oh yeah, he throws a change up where it just absolutely falls off the table below the zone. So it's a really tough matchup. So he's going to have really heavy sinker usage to the left-handed hitters. He's going to throw it to both parts of the plate, but don't sit on one side of the plate. And this is the toughest thing that I can't emphasize enough with Chris Sanchez. you almost can't have an approach just because of how tough he can hit inside, outside, up, down, in, out. Doesn't matter what the count is. He can throw it there and it's going to have something on it and it's going to have really good movement. So, with right-handers, it's going to be a little bit more of an even split between the sinker and changeup as compared to the lefties. It's going to be more sinker slider. So, it's and they're all three really elite pitches. So the approach I drew up for left-handed hitters is going to be you're going to have to hunt the sinker slider window, and for me, he likes using the sinker inside to establish the slider away. So for me, if I'm a left-handed hitter, Kent, I'm hunting a fastball early in the count. I'm not waiting on that slider because that slider is absolutely devastating. So you want that ball to kind of start middle away at best, but this guy's and this is what you don't see really on the camera angle from Chris Sanchez. That sinker will start middle of the plate and run in off the plate. That's how much movement he has on his pitches. So even if you get a pitch that starts middle, it's a good chance to be in a ball, but you're going to chase it because you don't want to get to that slider. So you're going to have a really good eye and be really disciplined. But if that's your approach, you gotta go with it. And then when you get 2 strikes, you're just going to have to read the spin. I think you still got to sit on the fastball because it's 98 miles an hour with heavy sink. So you're going to have to trust your eyes and your hands to be able to read the slider out of the hand for the left-handed hitters. For the right-handed hitters, you got to hunt the sinker changeup window. He's going to sprinkle in some sliders. There's no doubt about it, especially when he wants to back you off the plate. But for your best bet as a righty is to hunt the sinker and the changeup. So you want to see the ball in or in off the plate a little bit. That's where you want to start. You want to try to see the ball start up because his sinker and changeup both absolutely drop off the table. And when you get to 2 strikes, again, you're gonna have to try to read spin, but I would be sitting that sinker slide or that sinker changeup window the entire time. Ken, this is the one guy that I was absolutely bamboozled when I was trying to put an approach because all three of his pitches are elite. You can't eliminate any single one of them. He does have his tendencies towards lefties and righties, but all pitches play really well. They all move really well. And guess what? They all tunnel really well off into one another. You got anything to add on that?
Well, there's an old pitcher named Rick Traxel that pitched years in the major league. Don Sutton said he's got 8 pitches, none of them are elite. Well, this is the exact opposite of that. Sanchez has 3 pitches, and they're all elite. He's very difficult. If Sale and Sanchez are throwing at max, this game may not go 2 hours. This could be a very fast game. Uh, I I think the one thing that we can do to a team that's struggling is I wouldn't mind us, and I know all y'all going to blow up because the old man's talking small ball, but here wouldn't be a bad time to lay down a bunt, work for 1 run, work for 2 runs, because this could be a 3-1, 2-1 game, and I got enough faith in Walt Weiss that he may actually pull this off. We do have a lot of speed in our lineup when we go right-handed because Mateo will probably get in the last one. I think Mateo will start. If Eli plays, another fast guy, let's maybe do some things and work. But you're right. I can see us having to hunt early in the count, having to swing at first pitches because if this guy gets 2 strikes,
Forget
oh
it.
my Lord, it's going to be very difficult. Let's hope Chris sells on his game because if Mr. Sanchez is on his game, then this could be a rough ride. But let's see if we don't try to play a little small ball. I know y'all hate that. It's out of the analytics world, but it still works. And we just played a team in Miami that played a lot of small ball, and they gave us fits. So maybe that's what we need to do to Mr. Sanchez and make them feel the ball a little bit. Because I tell you what, I don't think Alec Bowman's a very good third baseman. If we can get him filling the ball over there, who knows where he might throw it, and we may get a couple of runs, and that might be enough.
That would not be the worst idea in the world, and you got to play small ball when you're facing elite pitching like this. And just for another emphasis, the left-handers are going to have a really tough night. Matt Olson, Michael Harris, you guys are going to have a tough night. I'm sorry, unless Sanchez is off. You know they're going to have clunkers here and there, but when you got a sinker that can start away on the outside corner and bore inside on you, and a slider that can start at your hip and hit the outside corner, and you got a guard against that as a left-handed hitter, good luck. Right-handers are going to have to do all the work in this game, because at least you have a window that you can hunt. Lefties really don't have that window. Right-handers, you're at least having the same pitch, kind of have the same plane, and you just got to judge speed and whether he's going to be in the strike zone. So right-handers are really going to have to be on their A game for us in this one. Moving on to game 3, Ken, we have the kiddo, Andrew Painter. What you got on Mr. Painter?
Here goes another tough one. Andrew Painter, we all talked about Parker Messick, and here comes Andrew Painter, and Andrew is very difficult. He is their stud coming. This will not be an easy game. He can literally throw about any pitch in any count, and he has movement. He can throw hard. In his arm angle, he's a big guy, so to get on top of his fastball when he decides to throw it up is kind of difficult. So, with that said, this is as much as we said the right-hander's got to have a good day on Saturday. This is where we need Miss Matt Olson, Drake, Michael, Dom to really step up and have a big game. And now the interesting thing is this is actually probably a good matchup for Matt Olson. Matt can the pitches that he throws that he'll try to go to strikeout pitches as pitches that Matt, if he makes a mistake, now if he hits his spots, he's still going to be difficult. But this is going to be another tough ride, and everybody who hasn't seen him pitch will find out why the Phillies think that that's going to be their next Zach Wheeler. He's going to be their ace, and when Zach decides to finally retire, so he's the real deal. This is going to be difficult, so I'm interested to see how you think we should break down and hit him, because he can throw to all 4 quadrants and he can throw it in any account, and that makes it very difficult.
Yeah, and just from watching the video, because I haven't seen the kid live, that was the first video I've seen of him, and it looks like he throws downhill pretty dang well. What I mean by that is when it comes out of his hand, Chad, it literally looks like it is boring downward on a downward plane into home plate. And that is really tough to judge, because if he's painting the fastball down in the zone and then he throws a changeup off of that, or a curveball or a slider off of that, and you're going to have a really tough time differentiating that pitch. But let's get into his pitch mix. Ken, he has a fastball, a slider, a sinker, a curve, a splitter, and a sweeper. And oh yeah, his velo averages 96 miles an hour on the fastball and sinker. So, left-handed hitters need to be aware of the pitch below the zone. Mr. Painter likes to establish his fastball inside and at the bottom of the zone to get the lefties to expand the zone below with his curveball, his splitter, and his slider. So you have 3 pitches that you got to watch out for as a lefty on 2 strikes, which is absolutely ridiculous. And then, oh yeah, on top of that, he could blow 96 by you if he wants to. Right-handed hitters, he likes to establish the 4-seam fastball on the outside part of the plate and the sinker on the inside part of the plate. He wants the right-handers to expand away off the plate with the slider and sweeper. So, my approach right here for the lefties, it's so simple, it's dumb, Ken. See the fastball up in the zone. See the ball up in the zone, because you're either going to get the curveball that's going to go below the zone, you're going to get the splitter that's going to go below the zone, or you're going to get the fastball that's going to be up in the strike zone. So for me, left-hand hitters, see the ball up in the zone and attack it, especially if it's fastball. Work on getting on top of that fastball with 2 strikes. You're going to have to read the spin. And curveballs and sliders, even though they can be really tough to read out of the hand, you can read the spin. The splitter, I think, is going to be the toughest one, where it's going below the zone and away from the lefties, especially when it's going to start as the same plane as the fastball. So for lefties, hunt the fastball splitter window. Get it up and inside. That's where you kind of want to see the ball start, or a little bit out over the plate, in order to get to it and cover the splitter. And you got to be able to read the spin. I think you'll be able to read the curveball and or slider. For the right-handed hitters, completely eliminate the sinker. If you read two seam sink, unless your name's Austin Riley because you just absolutely love sinkers for whatever reason, that's fine. But if I didn't read two seamers well, so I would be hunting the fastball slider window. I would be wanting the fastball to start in and around the belt, and that way, if it is a slider, you can still sit back and drive it the other way. That's probably the easier of the two approaches. So right-handers actually might have a little bit easier of a time with Andrew Painter, believe it or not, Ken, just because of all the weapons he has against lefties. What do you think?
That's possible. If Ronnie was right, 100% right, this is a guy that I think Ronnie could maybe hit a little bit, but I'm not sold he's 100% there. I would look for this game. With that said, I do think he's difficult and on lefties. But what I mean by Matt having is also an Ozzie spot. He's going to throw that first pitch fastball to get ahead, and if Matt and Ozzie will ambush him, I think they can hit him. So it's going to be interesting. That cat and mouse game that Andrew will play with Matt and Ozzie because they will ambush fastballs early in the count. And then if he tries to drop a backdoor slider or back foot slider, and they're still sitting fast, they can hit that pitch too. So it's going to be interesting his pitch selection with Ozzie and Matt because different than the rest of them. I think Ozzie and Matt can maybe ambush him, so we'll see. But this is going to be difficult. We're going to have Grant Holmes on the mound, and we'll need Grant to have a good game. This is going to be a difficult series. It's a hurt puppy, and hurt puppies sometimes react only two ways. They're going to shrivel up and die if we hammer them Friday night, or they're going to come out fierce and fight for their life. And knowing the Philadelphia club that we know, I feel we're going to get the latter. I think we're going to get the best of Schwarber, Turner, Harper, Bohm, the whole deal, because they see this 3-game set and they see themselves down 3.5, 4 games, and they definitely don't want us to come out of their 7 games ahead because you'd almost start making a case, wow, it's getting late early. And I think we'll get the best of Philadelphia this weekend. I think the crowd will be outstanding. The rivalry is real between us two, and I think they'll be pumped up. But yeah, the approach has to be get your pitch, and you can't miss it because if he gets to being able to 2 strikes to throw what he wants to throw, as you went through the pitch arsenal we've already talked about, he can throw anything, anywhere, any quadrant in the 2-strike count, and that's almost like a hitter. You're in trouble. It's going to be a pure luck if you hit the ball. So it's a tough ride. So that's how I see Andrew Painter.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a tough ride with Mr. Painter, and you guys got to remember too. This is their first time seeing this guy. They haven't seen him live, and it you don't know what to expect. I mean, sure, I mean you can watch video. There's nothing that is going to prepare you for him until you step in that box and you see the movement of the pitches. So don't be upset if they get absolutely diced up in the first 3, 4 innings because they haven't seen him before. It's a This kid's good. He's got a lot of good stuff. He can play a lot of tunnels and planes with these guys. It's going to be a tough ride for him. So if you get a fastball up early in the zone in the count, get after it. Don't miss it because he can tunnel you to death. He's got a lot of good stuff. So Ken, we're going to move on to the bullpen. We're already going to talk about Duran. He's going to be last, but we have to have a lefty in here, and that is Mr. Jose Alvarado. What do you got on Mr. Alvarado, Ken?
Big, hard thrower. He throws a slider like most people's velocity on a fastball. But he's kind of a mental guy. If anybody Braves fans know, he's the guy that comes to Atlanta always wants the mound fix because there's always something wrong with it. And mentally, we have beat up on him some because the way to work him is to work his counts because he can get wild. Most of the time with great relievers, and he's a great reliever, you want to get him early in the count or it's over. But not with him. He's one of these that can go 0-2 and then go ball 1, ball 2, ball 3, ball 4. And so it's tough, but this is a matchup that we can kind of deal with because we've seen him a lot. Our hitters have seen him a lot, and but he has a an outstanding fastball, but he has a very good hard slider, and it's uh, he'll we know where he's going to come in the game too. Most likely, he's going to be in that Baldwin, Olson, Riley, Albies, Yastrzemski, Smith in that middle of the lineup. So luckily, most of them are hitting the ball pretty well, and I'll tell you what, Matt can take him deep because this is the kind of guy. The same thing we were talking about. He throws the ball. Matt likes it, so it'd be interesting. But that's how I see Mr. Alvarado.
He throws the ball extremely hard, chap. He throws 98 to 100 miles an hour, and it is a sinker and it's a cutter. It's a really hard cutter, and it bites. So lefties, they're going to get a little bit more. He gets a little bit more sinker heavy to left-handed hitters to stay in on the plate, and that opens up the cutter away. He's going to try to get the lefties to expand off the plate. Right-handed hitters, he still likes to stay inside, but he has the tendency to miss back out over the plate. It's kind of this. It's going to be for the right-handers. He's going to throw the cutter inside more, and he's going to try to get them off the plate away with the sinker, or maybe have the sinker kind of front door him, but he's probably going to be really heavy with the cutter inside to right-handed hitters. So for my approach, this is kind of simple. You got to pick a pitch and sit on it until you get it. He's got two pitches, so you can either sit on the sinker or you can sit on the cutter, and you want to see that ball out over the middle of the plate. Right-handed hitters, you're going to want it. If I went through the whole thing where you want the ball to start at. If you're a sinker and you're a left-handed hitter, you want that ball to start out over the plate and up. If you're right-handed and you want a sinker, you want it to start at your front hip because it's going to go right down into your honey hole, down and in. If you are a left-handed hitter and you want the cutter, you want that to start at your hip so it goes back out over to the middle of the plate. And if you're right-handed, you want that ball to start way off the plate because it's probably going to come right back on the outside part of the plate or leak back over the middle. And you want the ball to start up because this stuff is going to break down. So you want it to start above the belt. That's all I got on Mr. Alvarado. Pretty simple. You pick a pitch and you sit on it because he's going to throw one of the two eventually in the count. Now, whether it's going to be inside the strike zone or not, you're going to have to wait and see. But that would be my approach on Alvarado. Ken, do you got anything else on Mr. Alvarado?
It's just interesting to let you know, Chad. He's calling it a cutter. I call it a hard slider. So
100%.
it's just really hard. So Ryan's spot on here. I'm sitting fastball. I'm never coming off the. I'm not even picking the two pitches because I don't feel like his slider, or if you want to call it a cutter, is much different. It's just in a different zone. His fastball is going to be here. The other pitch is going to be down here. So uh, I'm going to sit fastball. The thing you have to watch, you'll see some of these weird swings where they're swinging the balls over their head. That's the pitch we got to lay off of. That's the pitch that gets a lot of left-handed batters. That's where Ozzie who comes to mind. Like he's got, I mean, not Ozzie, but he comes from the right side. But Ozzie swings those pitches over his head. Our lefties are pretty good about not doing that. So, yeah, he's, I think we can hit him. And but if he does start striking us out, it's because he is nasty. He can throw pretty hard, and that's not an easy ride when you're in the eighth inning.
No, hard and has a lot of movement. So, Ken, we're going to go ahead and hop into the big boy in their bullpen, man. Johan Duran. What do you have on Mr. Duran?
All right, Mr. Duran, this is what I have on him. Listen to me, Braves offense. Have a lead before we get to him because we're probably going to lose the game if Mr. Ron gets the game. I know. Mr. Ron is very nasty. He's one of the four best closers in the game when he's right. I mean, he throws an unhittable off speed pitch. He throws hard to start off with. He throws his off speed as hard as he does his fastball almost, and it just breaks completely straight down. He's very difficult. I think the only way you can beat him is to sit hard and try to hit that fastball, which is a lot easier said than done. But I don't have much faith that we're going to hit Durant if the game kind of on the line. So maybe they'll prove me wrong, but he's I just want the lead before he gets in the game. I just can't see us hitting him. But hopefully you got a way we can, Ryan. So tell me how we're going to beat Johan Duran.
So let's go over the pitch mix because, 102 miles an hour wasn't enough. Are you ready for this? Fastball, sinker, curve, sweeper, splitter. He sits 101 to 102 on the fastball, and his splitter will go anywhere from 94 to 97.
That's what that splitter is ridiculous. I mean, he throws it nine. He throws it
Not
hard
even
as
a
a
splitter.
fastball. Yeah, he throws it a splitter and he throws it 97 miles an hour. How do you hit that? You can't hit it.
I'm going to combine two of these pitches because they're going to be the same pitch. The sinker and the splitter, the exact same dang pitch, in my opinion. And it's going to be 97, 98, and it's going to have the same turn down. So I'm just going to call it the splinker. So he throws a splinker. Okay, chat. Left-handed hitters, you are going to see a heavy dosage of that fastball and splinker, and he's going to start with a fastball up in the zone. I don't even really think he tries to pick a point with the fastball. He's just trying to get it in the zone. He's trying to try to get you out with the splinker or curveball below the zone, and that is an extremely tough tunnel when you got a four-seamer that is straight, and then you're seeing the same exact pitch, and then, oh no, it just bottoms out and goes right into the dirt. So, as ridiculous as this sound can, you want to see the 102 up, and I would be sitting all over the 102 up. Or you can play the other game and you can ignore the fastball that's up in the strike zone, but realize he doesn't have the best command of it and he will leave it belt tie out over the middle of the plate. It's just 102 and you got to catch up to it. You could go the reverse route and you could sit on the splinker that's 97 and you could still have it start up above the belt and it'd be a whole lot easier to catch. The problem is he doesn't throw it in the zone very often. That thing's going in the dirt more times than not. So if I'm a hitter, I'm sitting 102 and I want to see the ball up. If he is painting the bottom of the zone with 102, I don't have a chance because then I have to offer it the splitter that starts at that plane. So lefties, right? This is just a really unfair matchup. The best thing that you can do is try to see a fastball up and out over the plate and try to catch up to it. Right-handed hitters, he's going to go with the splinker and fastball again, but because that's not enough, Ken, he's going to start throwing the sweeper away to try to get right-handers to chase off the plate. So again, this is also a really tough matchup and a tough tunnel because he's got three pitches going in three different directions. You got the fastball that's going straight up through the zone. You got the splinker that is going straight down below the zone. And then you got the sweeper that is going away and off the plate to right-handed hitters. So if I am a right-handed hitter, I am sitting fastball early in the count and you want to try to see it belt high and you want to try to get around on it, get out in front of it. And if I'm being honest, Ken, if I'm late in the count or if I'm down two strikes, I'm going to be sitting on the sweeper because I think that's the one pitch I might have a really good shot of hitting if he throws it away. I think I could drive that ball to right field because it's not 100 miles an hour. If he throws 100 miles an hour, I'm not ready for it. And if I didn't crack it on my first two chances, I'm probably not going to get on my third, so that's why I would switch it up. But you can stay on the 102 if you want. But that's my approach. Get around on the 102 early if you're righty, or sit on the sweeper late in the count. What do you got?
This is one of the pitchers that I might would play the catcher, JT Realmuto. JT's one of those that believes he a little bit in the Rick Kranitz. If you throw something, keep throwing it. So let's just do a real quick 3, 4, 5 through our lineup. If Olson gets up there, I think he's going to see constant splitter, or you call it splinkers, over and over and over, hoping Matt rolls over it or misses them. Then he goes to Austin. I think he's going to get all 102 right here because he thinks he can get Austin up high. I'm talking about JT. And then here comes Ozzy, and it's going to be splinker, 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 splinker. Then here comes Jazz. It's another 102 up here the whole time. And Dom Smith, he's going to mix it up, and that's where you might even see a backdoor sweeper late in the count to throw Dom off. I think if I'm a hitter, I'm going to play the JT Realmuto. JT had Marcell Ozuna's number. As all Braves fans know, he knew what Marcell could not lay off the sweeper outside. And you'd look up on the board, and when Marcel would come up, there would be 16 pitches thrown to him that game, and 15 would be sweepers. And I think that's what you do with Johan Duran. I think JT will go to the pitches that he wants to, and I think Johan trusts him. And so if I'm a hitter, I'm going to probably go to JT and see how he likes to call games against me. Maybe look at the video and past and what he thinks he can get me out on. Because Johan can throw that pitch, whatever that pitch is, and I would just sit on whatever that pitch is and be ready to hit it. But even with that said, Braves fans, don't get mad if we go into the game down 3-2 and he comes in and he strikes out the side. He's a tough ride. You shake his hand and you wish the offense would have got runs early.
Yeah, there is no easy plan of attack against Mr. Johan Duran because there really is no plan of attack if I'm being 100% honest with you, Ken. I mean, you really got to pick a pitch and you got to just sit on it until you get it where you want it. Because otherwise, it's going to be really, really tough. It's not going to be cut and dry, chat. The Phillies, they're throwing two of their best pitchers, starting pitchers. They got a good back end in the bullpen. We're going to have to work counts. That's going to be the biggest key, especially against Sanchez. Well, Sanchez, you might have to go early in the count, as we discussed, because he's that good. But you want to get in the bullpen. Their middle of the bullpen is not good at all. So you want to try to get Walker out early in the game. You want to beat the crap out of that bullpen so they don't have any extra life later in the next two games. So game one is going to be a big one for us. But it's not going to be an easy series in the least. So, Ken, we're going straight now to your pick to click this series. Who do you have?
I'll go with the Philly killer. I'll go with it. I'll go Matty. Matt Olson crushes in Philadelphia. This is a great matchup with him all across the board. Yes, all across the board. Taijuan Walker, we already said why. I think Christopher Sanchez is difficult, but he does match up well with Alvarado. And I think that, Matt is smart enough to know how JT is going to try to get him out if we do get Duran. But I think Painter, he definitely can hit Painter. He's the one guy I think that can have a night on Andrew Painter. I expect Matt Olson. He just missed. He hit a couple of home runs this series, but he just missed probably 5 home runs. He could have had 5 home runs against the Marlins. Matt's come close. He loves Philadelphia, and he'll go up there and eat him a couple of cheesesteaks on Friday. He'll be ready to go, and I expect Matt Olson to have a monster series against a very good pitching, their best pitchers, like the games 2 and 3. And I expect Matt Olson to get us a series win. I really do.
Well, I'm going to go with the man who protects Matt Olson. I am going big, thick Austin Riley. And it is because this dude over the last, I would say probably since game 2 of Anaheim, his approach has really cleaned itself up. He's cleaned it up. His mechanics have gotten a whole lot better, and he is starting to drive the ball all over the ballpark. And maybe one of the most encouraging signs was this man turned on 99 miles an hour from Yuri Perez. And he's done that a few times here recently, and I haven't seen Austin turn on a fastball like that in quite some time. So I'm looking for Big Thick to have a really good series against the Philadelphia Phillies. Ken, that's a wrap for us, man. You got any other final thoughts?
I think it's going to be fun, and from a hitter's perspective, I think there's spots in there, definitely in their bullpen before the back end. Can have fun and win the biggest thing is try to get Sanchez and Painter off the mound before the 8th and 9th inning. And but everybody else on that staff is hittable, and let's have a good day hitting those guys, and let's not bring in Duran into the situation, and let's have good starting games from our 3 starters, and let's win us 2 out of 3 and win a series. Look, they're hurting and they're down. The National League East is kind of beating up on each other a little bit. They're all kind of right at the same record. If we can start distancing ourselves before the end of April, it's going to bode well for us. And then we'll start setting our sights on L.A. and San Diego to try to have one of the best records in the National League, if not the best record. So this is a big series, and hopefully we'll play well. And it's going to be interesting to see how the Phillies react from getting absolutely shelled by the Cubs this week. So we'll see how they react. I think we're going to get their best shot this weekend. So hopefully we'll be ready to play.
My final thoughts will be for the Braves hitters. Make sure you stay within your approach. Do not deviate from it. Trust the approach, especially against these tough two that you're going to see in games 2 and 3. Because if you deviate from your approach, you're going to have absolutely no chance against them. So stay in your approach. Even if you strike out 1 or 2 times, have confidence in that third at bat against them that you're going to get that pitch out over the plate. And when you do not miss it. That is my final thought. Predictions for the series. Ken, what do you got?
2 out of 3.
I'm going 2 out of 3 as well. And with that, chat, we are out of here until the next Tip Coil, which will be the next series. We'll see y'all then.
Peace.
You know what, boys? You guys are going to be world champions for the rest of your life.